So why don't you tell me, I know RAINN just recently hit a big milestone of helping 1.5 million people with the hotlines. So can you speak about that a little bit?
Sure. The National Sexual Assault Hotline, we started up about 16 years ago, and we added to that about 4 years ago an online hotline. Together they've helped now 1.5 million survivors of rape. And this year demand is just skyrocketed. It's up about 16%. Already this year we've helped over 108,000 people.
Wow.
The hotlines provide free, confidential, one-on-one support and advice and counseling 24/7 by phone and online. And we've got an incredible group of about over 500 volunteers that work on our online hotline. For the telephone hotline, we partner with about 1,100 local rape crisis centers around the country. So it's an extraordinary group of people who work 24 hours a day to make sure that they can be there to help.
And so, what's next for RAINN going forward in the future? What are your future goals and initiatives, and what things do you have your sights set on?
We're working a lot to expand our public education, and we're also working on some public policy initiatives to try and improve the rate at which rapes are prosecuted. The sort of giant problem is that 15 out of 16 rapists never spend even a single day in prison. And the only way to start changing that is to make sure that is to encourage more victims to report the crime to police, and then make sure that when they do report, the crime gets investigated thoroughly, and that we have competent people who are willing to really drive the process and pursue prosecution. So one example we're working on is called the SAFER Act.
Mm-hmm. I was actually going to ask about that next, so perfect segue.
It's the Sexual Assault Forensic Evidence Registry. And the problem we're trying to solve is that there are hundreds of thousands of rape kits. This is evidence from rape crime scenes that's been taken after a very difficult process that the victim has to go through. The evidence has been collected, and it's literally sitting on shelves in police storerooms, or it's sitting in refrigerators. It's never been sent to the crime labs for testing of the DNA. So the SAFER Act will help us get a handle on how many of those kits remain to be tested, and it will help provide pressure to get them tested quickly before the statute of limitations run out in these cases. Because otherwise, I mean, it's just a crazy situation. We have the evidence, just no one's looking at it. So we're hopeful that Congress will help improve the situation by passing the SAFER Act next year.
And so what's the current status of the SAFER Act? Is it being voted on in one of the houses, or?
Not quite yet. We'll be introducing it in the new Congress in January. So right now we're working on getting co-sponsors for it. Congressman Ted Poe, who's Republican from Texas, and Congressman Carolyn Maloney, a Democrat from New York, are the lead sponsors on it. And that's an indication of, this is the least partisan issue you could ever imagine. There's no one who wants rape victims to suffer and to have their cases not be prosecuted, and to have these criminals keep walking the streets and hurting more
it's certainly
people.
an issue that transcends party politics. Great. Well, is there anything else you want to talk about that RAINN's currently working on, or any other programs that you guys have coming out?
We've got a great college education program called RAINN Day. It's an annual program that takes place on about 1,100 college campuses around the country, and with the help of about 6,000 volunteers who implement that on each campus.
Wow.
Excuse me. And other than that, I just encourage if anyone needs help, please call the National Sexual Assault Hotline at 800-656-HOPE, H-O-P-E, or online at RAINN.org.
Great.